If there were reasons for these miseries, then into limits could I bind my woes. When heaven doth weep, doth not the earth o'erflow? When the winds rage, doth not the sea wax mad, threatening the welkin with his big swollen face? And wilt thou have a reason for this coil? I am the sea! Hark how her sighs do blow! She is the weeping welkin, I the earth, then must my sea be moved with her sighs, then must my earth with her continual tears become a deluge, overflowed and drowned. For why my bowels cannot hide her woes, but like a drunkard must I vomit them. Oh, then give me leave, for losers will have leave to ease their stomachs with their bitter tongues. That is Titus Andronicus. That is timely, huh? Holy shit. If there were reasons for these miseries. Yeah, I was not expecting to find this particular nugget of relevance in Titus Andronicus, a play that I learned in school. It was one of the earlier plays that I worked on when I took Shakespeare in college, because it was an early Shakespeare, and there's a lot you can learn from his, early writing and his immature, I guess, writing. He's very raw in this play. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't connect that readily with the human beings in this play because they so rapidly, like, the start of this play, Titus orders Tamara's sons to be killed because war. That's what you're supposed to do or whatever. And that sets off this big cascade of cyclical vengeance and violence because, of course, Tamara's not just going to accept that and move on with her life. She's fucking pissed. She's going to get back at Titus because she asked him for mercy and he said, nope, I'm going to hack him to pieces and burn him. That's what he did. So Titus as a protagonist becomes difficult for me to root for. And I get it, it's like he's a general, he's, there are certain things expected of you in war. Not a big fan of war, is I guess maybe the takeaway for me there is that's bullshit. Like, the fact that we can, as human beings, put war over crimes against humanity and not bat an eye and sleep okay at night. War is mass murder. Like, it's mass murder. But it's okay because you call it something else. And honestly, this play kind of highlights the shortcomings with that if you want to live a happy life. Because if you invade a country and you kill a bunch of people, and okay, maybe they've got a terrible dictator and there was reason to do it, but the villages and towns and cities and people that end up dying, civilians, innocent people that end up dying, because that's just how war works, right? People just die. There's casualties of war. What are they going to think, right? This foreign country comes in, my brother, son, mother, father died in collateral warfare bullshit. How am I? Of course I'm going to hate that country, right? Like, and it just propagates this cyclical, like, hatred and vengeance and violence, and then you get, by the end of Titus, right, you get so far from what was sparked it all, you're not even thinking anymore. You're just lashing back out in pain because it hurts so much. And that's what's going on in this, to me, with Titus. This is a really interesting sandwich of where this takes place in the play. It's after Titus sees Lavinia ravished, hands cut off, tongue cut out. But before and after he cuts his own hand off because Saturninus asked him to, because he said he'd let his sons go if he did it. Aaron comes and tells him, hey, this is what Saturninus wants you to do. And Titus, like, immediately, he's like, I'm just going to do it. He's, like, so done with the bullshit. He's like, yes, okay, let's end this. Boom, cut the hand off, take it. And then right after this speech, the messenger comes back with the hand and the heads of his sons, saying, nah, Saturninus is just doing this to you now. And so this is like, to me, this is like the end of Titus's humanity, right? Because he has hurt so much up to this point, and he has gone to such lengths to try to stop the wheel. And he's got blood loss and all these other things that he's competing with because he just cut off his own hand. And like, to have that be answered with no more violence, because at this point the parties are kind of going downhill. There's just gonna be more violence. There's no end to it until everybody's dead, kind of. So it's really heartbreaking to have that be the last. I didn't realize it when I picked it, but yeah, this is one of the last moments that Titus is really like feeling, because after that he's just kind of numb. Like, it's just like, okay, I have no hand. My daughter's been raped and mutilated. My sons are dead. Okay, I'm gonna bake your sons into pies. Like, that's like, it's just like a step change, and it's just, there's kind of no going back. And reason no longer plays a part. And that's where this kind of really touched a nerve with me, because that's how I feel living in this country nowadays. Like, there is... I was reading a post that someone was posting on Facebook about, there was another shooting just days ago. In a school children shot, That should not exist. That series of words in that order, right? Like, homicide, violence, all bad. But this isn't two heavily armed guys backing out of a drug dealer, like crime bullshit or whatever, gang warfare or whatever. It's not escalated with guns and guns and guns or whatever. It's kids in a place of education just getting shot. And how many times now, right? Like, how many times does it have to happen? And it just, reason has left the building for me on this. It's just like, how can we just let this happen? How can you not just be like, no, it's not, because it's not like, and it's like, I saw someone posting about, oh yeah, well actually, we're just seeing more about it in the media. It's actually going down, the rates of, kids getting shot in schools. It's like, that should not be a unit of measurement. You should not have to measure millions of students killed per capita or some bullshit. Like, none is the acceptable amount. Period. End stop. So that's what I was thinking about when I dove into this particular piece. So made me kind of pissed. But it's heck, there's Shakespeare. There is Shakespeare, man. Like, even with his early raw stuff, it's so relevant. It's because what it is in Titus, there's this dehumanization that happens with the characters. They get so far away from their humanity, and they just get wrapped up in the violence. They start acting like animals. They start acting. Titus has another line earlier in this act, I think, where he calls Rome a bunch of tigers, and it's like, yeah, it's just animals. It's just animals lashing out, fighting. It's not, reason has left the building, and that's what's happening today. We are dehumanizing. There is less, and it's like you see, it's maybe not all that shocking that this is happening with schools, because with the advent of the iPhone and the digital age and social networking, and we are so distanced. There is a screen separating people now, and you don't have the real connection anymore. So it's easier to shoot a bunch of people if all you've ever seen is nasty posts about them on Facebook. Like this, because time and time again, these people that do this, mostly men, these young men, 17, 16-year-old men that shoot up these schools, you hear about it and it's like, oh yeah, they were posting, violent imagery on their social media. They were, posting pictures of themselves with guns on social media. And it's like, yeah, because you've got this persona now and all these, and that's interaction now. And so many, in so much, I guess, right, is, we are less the individual people as we are our Facebook profiles. And someone from my school posts something nasty or snide or whatever, and it becomes like, it's so much easier for people to be hurtful because you're not looking at them. There's this device that lets you do it. And so it just makes me sad because that's what I see. I just see people less human. It's really sad. So I got a little out of control of this one. Yeah. So, and his point of the story is Shakespeare's still relevant. So that was Titus. I'm going away this upcoming weekend, so I won't be doing another sonnet, but I'm going to be doing one the week after, so that'd be June. And then I'm going to start in on some of the histories. The Henry VI cycle is the next one I'm going to work on. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.